Greetings, I'm Captain Rage, and I'm back with the Sunday Sampler. This week we're going to be taking a look at Phantom Signal. This is a self-published game by Veslo Games, and as per usual, this is a review copy. Let's just go ahead and get off the screen and go into the main menu, or the mission selector, whatever you want to call this. This is, well, they call it a RTS. I would actually say it's more tower defense, or a pseudo tower defense, because there's some various game modes depending on the particular level, so it's not a true tower defense, but we're splitting hairs here at this point. Anyway, this is a space game where you're in an AI ship that's chasing a phantom signal, hence the name on the package there. So, what do I think about this game? It's fun, but I have a lot of problems with it because, well, it falls on the fun side of the bell curve. That means I start picking apart, and boy, is there some weird design choices here. Let's just start off with, actually, since we're on the main menu here, or the level select, I guess I should say, let's pick probably the strangest design choice I've seen in this game so far, is how it segregates easy and hard mode. You may notice that I'm actually a fair ways through the game, up to the end of the next to last chapter. I just completed chapter 8. I have level 9 unlocked. And each of these levels, you may think, well, you're only up to level 9. That's not a lot. These levels could actually run on for a fair bit of time. 10, 15 minutes a pop, depending on the level. And there is a certain amount of trial and error for some of the levels, but we'll get into that in just a bit. So I'm up to level 9 with some of the side stuff done as well. You know, you see 5.1, 5.2, which is just a side tree that gives extra research points, which we'll get into research in just a moment. I've done 8.1 with 8.2 unlocked and 9 unlocked. So you may notice, fairly far along with the research tab. I want you to pay attention to this. We'll come back to this in a moment. When I go to hard mode, everything locked, including research. Easy and hard modes are completely segregated, and it's just so weird to see it designed this way, because usually you see a hard mode as an additional challenge, usually after easy mode. And because of how these levels are set up, where there's a certain rock, paper, scissors element to the game, which we'll get to when we're doing a little bit of gameplay, that certain ships can only really be killed by certain weapons. Picking the wrong research at the wrong time could be absolutely devastating, to the point where you have to reset your progress. There's really no way about it, because there's no way to earn extra research. And if, let's say, I go down the left side here, and instead of getting, the repair, or, well, actually, it's the right side that's more important. If I don't get energy store or fast upgrading or fast building, those two make the game a lot easier, to the point where, well, it's an achievement to do the entire game without any research. So technically it's possible, but it's far, far more difficult. So yeah, it's just such a weird thing to see that segregation. And since we're on research, it's not a bad tech tree. There's some interesting things that you start off whenever you recycle something, which we'll get to in a bit, getting 50% back, and you can get up to full return. Different area effects, slow down time, fast time, energy, damage areas, that sort of thing. I would have loved to seen actually a little bit more. I would say that the ion gun, at least as far as I played with it, is completely useless. I wish I could refund points on it, but because I get really no stats on it, I couldn't see just how useless it was until I bought it and tried it out for a couple levels. Areas are not labeled really at all to give you an idea of how much they do, or even their AoE size. I would love to see more information here. And actually, something else I would have loved to see, which you'll see when I'm talking about more in gameplay, is more here, as in switches. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into gameplay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's do 5.1. It's a pretty standard attack map. So you have different types. I'm just going to pause right away. You start off with one energy reactor. And on this particular map, you have to mine and basically survive. We're going to get attacked and have to build up and just live, really. So, because this has a pause feature, it becomes almost zen-like, just building out your thing. So let's see. There's a 300 mineral. There's a 200. Oh, I clicked the same one. So 100. So if I put a miner here, you can see the ranges on things. I could actually fit it right there and build. And if I unpause, you can see it pulsing energy. As this generates energy, which you can see the amount here, 1 energy per second with a max of 4, and it has 300 health. If I upgrade it, it starts producing 2 energy a second with 5 energy capacity, which is this up here. And this mines minerals, which allows me to build more. You can see why I would love a Switch, because I'll just pause again, because it allows me to really sit and talk about this, especially since we're going to be attacked in 2 minutes 51 seconds. We'll set that to upgrade. And we'll set that to upgrade. I'm not sure if that's smart or not, but there's a certain trial and error to this game that I'm not sure if I really like. I enjoy sort of the zen-like quality of just sitting here and figuring out, okay, how do I want to play this? Like, right now I can put down a second miner, so I will. We'll build that there. Actually, I probably should have put a relay here and built the miner here, but oh well. Live and learn, or retry and try again. Let's see, we could put a miner here. And it's not going to build yet until we build the relays. This reminds me a lot of Creeper World, if I recall the name correctly, and I'm just checking my notes. Yeah, Creeper World, where it has this similar energy net. I'm not calling it a ripoff. Actually, this does things a fair bit different to Creeper World. But Creeper World also has that switch where, okay, weapons are also powered by this energy grid, but because of how the energy grid works, well, for one, I can't see any energy deficits until I actually am suffering from it. So, okay, these three are taking more energy than what I'm generating, because you can see that, but there is no energy stat here from what I can tell, and there is no tooltips whatsoever, and you can see these over here. That's a whole nother matter that we'll get into in just a little bit. So that's something I would have loved to see, is just more information. See an energy deficit. Like, okay, now I'm getting energy surplus. I guess because I've finished building, so we can upgrade that. That's worthwhile, because that's going to be a fair amount of crystals. And I'm just waiting to build a second energy generator. Pause. We'll just make this nice and pretty. Built there. And once that is built, we'll build a relay network over to these. But you can see why I feel like this is very zen. And granted, if you try to play this RTS mode, it is a very difficult game because it can get very quick. But doing this almost FTL style of just stop and think makes the game a lot easier, but also a lot more fun, in my opinion. But that's really up to you. Oh, can I? There we go. So that is going to work. All I'll do is upgrade this. And I'll also put an energy store. Granted, we are at the 1 minute mark, so we need to start building up crystals, or building up minerals to stave off the invasion that's about to hit us. So let's start building out to meet our attackers. And let's build one more. Right there. So because I'm upgraded and I'm coming back to an earlier mission, this is a lot easier than what it was because originally I only had so much to deal with. But there's no way of really knowing until you do these missions what you're going to face, which does lead to a certain amount of trial and error. And because the ships are very rock, paper, scissors like, where the lasers are a good catch-all. Oh, kind of double click there. But because some ships are able to outrange them even at max upgrades, they're not good for everything, which means that, you know, if you hit that situation and you don't have a missile turret, for example, which I'm going to build as soon as I have enough minerals. Actually, I should have upgraded this. Yeah, at this point, it's probably not worth it. We'll upgrade these, though. But if I ran into the situation where I needed the missile turret and I hadn't researched it, let's see. Okay, these are pretty basics. We're gonna win that. Then I would be in some serious trouble. And also, something else I don't like in the design is that until you unlock this ability, which is a heal aura for that range, you are stuck just upgrading to be able to heal, which is honestly not great design, because if these hit max rank and they get damaged again, you're a little thing called screwed. There's no way to heal them if they hit max rank and you haven't unlocked the healing ability or the healing drone or repair drone, which will build that there. Okay, so we have 2 minutes 55 seconds. That is completely mined out, so we could recycle that and recycle that for half price. And what we're going to do is build down to here to meet this, and also build up to meet the other one in just a moment. You can see why I like playing this FTL mode, where I just pause and able to really think about what I'm doing, because otherwise it gets rather frantic. So we can do that. And I'm going to build all the way over. And because this is in a straight line, these will go in sequence and shouldn't deplete my energy stores that badly. I'm not going to be able to hit all 3 of those, am I? So build that there. Branch this off. Put a secondary miner there for 150. This will be fully upgraded though. And build it down. See, this is a 300, so that is definitely worth upgrading once it levels up. Or gets built, I should say. This is still mining. This is not worth it. Now we do the same here. With a miner there. Because of how I'm playing this though, and with a combination of the music, like I said, it gets very zen. I would love to have some sort of either sandbox mode or even a procedural mode where, you know, it gives me a somewhat randomly designed level and, you know, just lets me do my thing. Like, you can see my energy stores are absolutely tanked because of all the building going on. But there's just something very satisfying about the flickering power going around, you know? Maybe it's a combination of that and the music. So, I could upgrade that. That one is built. But yeah, some sort of sandbox mode, some sort of daily challenge mode. Yeah, something like that. That would have had some sort of randomness. Granted, because of the trial and error gameplay, it may have been just more frustration than anything else. But at the same time, it could have been interesting. That's to say that, it's not to. Well, I should say it's not to say that they won't have it, because they do promise some sort of DLC in the future. But at the same time, it's hard to always say exactly what's going to happen with these games. But yeah, because of the rock, paper, scissors, it's maybe that sort of mode isn't a good idea. So we are at 1:30 left. That is... Oh, we are completely tanked on energy, aren't we? Yeah, I may have overbuilt. Or I just hit pause, hit start and hit pause immediately, so I was panicking there for a moment. So that is nearly out. What I'll do is I'll upgrade that and I'll get an energy store. Yeah, maybe it's just scratching that itch that Creeper World had for me back in the day. And that's why I like this so much. That's not to say that, that's a bad thing, to be honest, because, there is a certain thing for nostalgia. Did I not hit that? I guess not. Okay, so we'll hit that. And we'll put down some lasers. Put down 3 lasers there. Let those build up. Why did that not connect? It's weird. I hadn't had that happen before. Strange. Not sure why that happened. Alright, well, there's a possible bug. And we'll put that pause again and put down more lasers. Fire Z lasers. Pew pew pew. But this is probably a bad example of just showing the rock, paper, scissors nature of the gameplay, just because of, I know how to play this one. But we still have 3 waves to go, so. Yeah. And a relay right there. That is 175 and 100, so that's definitely worth... Oh, here comes the kamikazes. We'll put down a slow ore. I would have loved to seen tooltips on these, because there's been a couple times that I've misclicked those. Come on. There we go. That should be okay now. Let's see how down here is doing. This isn't upgraded at all. Okay, now it is. That is depleted, so I could recycle that. You'd see why the recycle would be actually very useful. For the recycle upgrade, I should say. And I wish I could have got that instead of the ion cannon, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so that's done. This... You could see the repair drone. I also wish that the repair drone wasn't per building, because I have to build it on each one of these. There was another game that's sort of similar to this that I'm blanking the name on. But, oh, you can see here that, okay, this one's damaged, but if I upgrade it, it's up to full. But these only have 2 upgrade levels. That's why I was talking about them hitting max rank and being completely boned on repairs. So we get that. Put that there. That's a few extra minerals. At this point, it's not even worth upgrading that, but we can build up to here, put a miner there, upgrade it in time, and then reap the rewards. What we'll also do is, actually we should save up, since I'm not going to run the ion, to just do a couple missile turrets. So I think one there. Yeah, they're coming from the same places for round 2. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit because we don't really need to sit around. Missile turret there. Speed up time again. But yeah, this is just one of the game modes that I've hit. Well, just a pure defense mode. I've hit attack a convoy that's going to be pathing through the area. I've do a mass mine mode where I had to mine a certain amount of minerals, and that's a complete waste of minerals, which I wish there was some sort of confirmation on that, particularly since you could pause. There's no reason, or have it where bringing this up pauses the game. That would have been nice. Like I said, there's just little quality of life things that could be done. Okay, so I could recycle that one. Recycle that one. On the next break, I'll put a miner over here to grab those. Could recycle that. This is still going strong. That is quickly wearing out. We'll see if it gets attacked. If it does, then I'll recycle down back to here. Okay, we have missiles up there. We'll put a missile. Oh, we have one down there. That's right. So we just need one right here. Okay, that's still good. This may need more pew-pew. There goes the missile and just annihilates things. We'll upgrade that. That is nearly depleted. That's done. That's alright. Looks like we're fine here. Okay, that's good, and that's good. So another 3 minutes and we're on our last wave. Not the most exciting of levels, and maybe it's just the way I play, but gives a good idea of what to expect from the game, to be honest. So we'll put a miner there and a miner there. But trying to think of anything else to really talk about. Well, I talked about the research and how I wish that there were switches, but now you can see why. I would have loved to have seen that. Okay, this is done up here. Maybe toggle have some sort of toggle on the relays, or a research to upgrade the relays to include a switch to like double click it and turn off that segment to divert power to the southern segment here. That would have been really nice. But I don't get anything like that. Or at least that I saw on the research. But it would have been nice to have something like that. And the game that this keeps reminding me of Creeper World had something like that. That's why, I keep wanting something like it, is that, I'm reminded of it. So we'll upgrade at least one of these to max rank, particularly ones that have the repair drone. We should hit enough to upgrade a missile turret. I'll save it in case we need to upgrade. And we'll just fast forward. Okay, well, we could stop for a moment. Recycle. 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 This is done as well, so recycle that. Recycle that because we don't need that node. Oh, left 130 there. Oh well. Shouldn't be necessary though. Yeah, I got a little happy on my recycling. Gotta save the earth, man. Oh, but yeah. This is pretty much the game, to be perfectly honest. It's not a bad title. It's definitely in the budget range, and its limitations in that price range are certainly felt. But at the same time, oh wow, just getting swarmed up here. Thankfully, the lasers were upgraded enough. Let's see if we get anything new down here. Well, show off the healing mode. Ah, here we go. So these guys. And then there's these assholes. Let's keep an eye up here. See, they'll hang back. And this is why I was talking about the rock, paper, scissors element here. They hang back and fire missiles, and they are well outside of laser range. So the only way to defeat these guys, at least that I've encountered, is with missile turrets. Even the Ion, which I'll show you here, isn't even close to the amount of range. I would have loved to have seen something like a railgun instead of the ion cannon, which would be massive damage but an extremely slow fire rate. Maybe with a limited arc where you could rotate it, but then again, that may be a limitation of design. So, if I didn't have the missile turret unlocked at this point, this would be a stalemate because they would be constantly firing at me, but my lasers are upgraded enough that they could constantly shoot down the missiles. So you can see the impasse, right? But yeah, we are pretty much done with... Oh, didn't mean to hit that. I just wanted to upgrade that completely, but yeah. But just look at the range on the missile turret fully upgraded. That's kind of ridiculous. And also a hell of a lot of damage. But yeah, we're just sitting here waiting for this to finish off, really. I mean, I've won. It's just a stalemate if I didn't have the missile turrets unlocked. And that's what I was talking about, rock, paper, scissors, and the fact that if you don't get a certain research at a certain time, you are screwed, and you have to restart the game completely, as in a complete reset. Because, well, granted, that is a side chapter, but that's only the 5th level. And missile turrets are a starting research, but at this point, you would have, well, I think they're a requirement for level 5 or 4. So you would have either 6 or 9 research points total. So you can see my problem with the design. Yeah, it's not a bad game. There's just some head scratchers in it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm just looking at my notes. Segregated easy hard mode, which is just weird. Don't know why. I can understand, wanting you to progress through hard mode, but to completely segregate the research is just so strange. Starting levels... Oh, I didn't even talk about that. The starting levels can be very fixed. I'm not just talking about the tutorial levels, but having to get certain researchers at certain times goes against really what they're trying to sell this game as, because there's a promise of a lot of flexibility on how to do things, but if you don't have the research, you're screwed. I mean, you just saw the example of that with the missile boats. Wish there was some sort of procedural or, daily challenge, or, just a sandbox mode, because, there's just a certain zen of sitting down and watching everything flicker. Maybe I'm just attracted to pretty lights, I don't know. And the levels are definitely a trial and error based, because that's not a good example, but there's a couple of them that you get attacked from a direction that you're not really shown beforehand. And if you don't have, especially the fast building, but fast upgrading as well, which, 2 times less, that's a little bit of a weird wording as well. Not sure what, where they came with that, but 50% less building time and upgrade time, because it's the energy pulses. If you don't have those, it makes certain levels very, very difficult, unless you know where they're coming from. But I will say good gameplay variety. Reminds me a lot of Creeper World, which I spent way too much time with, especially the Flash version. Keep meaning to pick up the Steam version now that I think about it. But yeah, overall, I think it's well worth its asking price of $5.99 normally. It's 40% off right now, which brings it down to $3.59. Yes, it has its flaws. Yes, it's definitely not for everyone. But if it hits that certain niche for you, if you spend a lot of time playing Creeper World back in the day, back in my day, we didn't have mobile games, we had Flash games. Which, to be fair, they're about one and the same now that I think about it. Only less microtransactions. But, if it hits that certain niche for you, it's definitely well worth a look. And overall, not too bad. Not great. Definitely some odd design decisions. And as I get into the later levels, it's becoming a lot more trial and error. Do my opening, see if I'm getting stuff fast enough to be able to survive. If not, restart, try again until I figure out what to do. But overall, if it hits that niche for you, it's well worth it. If not, then it's probably not for you. But then again, that's goes without saying. Anyway, as always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated, either in the comments below, or if you don't really have anything to say but want to let me know that you've enjoyed or hated this, the appropriate buttons are down below, and subscribe if you wish to see more of the Sunday Sampler or more other content. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll be back with something, hopefully not as odd next time, because this is a bit of an odd game. And definitely not for everyone. We'll see if we have something with a little bit more mass appeal next time. But, we'll see you then.